And what I want to talk about right now is the difference between cash secured puts and naked puts. If you have been following Coffee with Marcus, then you know that recently there was a comment from somebody who said, it is the same. And of course, that is not the case. So in this video, I'll show you the differences of cash secured versus naked puts, and I'll also explain why I highly recommend that you trade cash secured puts when trading the wheel strategy. So the wheel strategy is a strategy with a very high winning percentage. See, in my previous video, I explained what high winning percentage. Well, I've been trading this strategy for the past 3 months publicly here on YouTube, and I haven't had a single losing trade yet. Now, today I don't want to talk about the strategy here because I want to talk about the differences between cash secured and naked puts. But if you would like to see the strategy in detail, just watch my previous video. I'll link to it in the description. Anyhow, so as you can see, part of this strategy, here's an overview of the strategy. Part of it is that you sell a put option. So when you sell a put option, it means that you have to buy the stock at the strike price that you sold it for. So this is very important, and you have to do it. So therefore, obviously, what you want is that the stock stays above the strike price that you chose. Because in this case, you just keep the premium. Now, let me give you a very, very specific example here. So a few days ago, I sold the 115 put on IBM that expires today. So as you can see, I did this 3 days ago, and I received a premium of $43 per option that I traded. Now, I traded 2 options, I traded 2 contracts, so this means that I received $86 in premium. And if you divide this by 3 days, so this means that we are looking at approximately $29 per day in premium, which is what I'm looking for. I mean, this is how I have achieved the results, the very systematic results here of 22.7% over the last 3 months, which would, if I can keep it up, would translate into 19.8% per year. Anyhow, so thus far, what does it have to do with cash secured or naked puts here? Again, in this example, as long as IBM stays above 115 until expiration, which is in 20 minutes from now, so it has to stay above 115 over the next 20 minutes. So in this case, I would just keep the $86 in premium and the option expire worthless. However, if IBM would be below 115 at expiration, then I have to buy 100 shares of IBM at a price of $115. So in my case, since I have sold 2 options, I would have to buy 200 shares of IBM at $115. So this means that I would have to bring $23,000 to the table. But here's the deal. In order to sell these puts, my broker only required around $4,400. Let's take a look at this. See IBM here, it says capital required $4,453. So that's only 20% of the money that I actually need to buy the shares. So now let's talk about the difference between cash secured puts and naked puts. Is this making sense thus far? If it is, do me a favor and click on like really quick, because this way I know that I'm not going too fast. So cash secured puts means that you have $23,000 in your account to cover for the stocks if you're getting assigned, right? So if you only had $5,000 in your account, you could still place the trade because, as you can see, the broker only required $4,453. But you wouldn't have enough money to actually buy the shares if you get assigned. So this means that you sold the naked puts. You just don't have enough money. You just had enough money for the broker, what he required to sell it. So why would the broker let me sell the puts for only $4,400, but then, in fact, I need $23,000 to buy the shares if I get assigned? Well, here is why the broker does it. He does it for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, most options expire worthless. And reason number 2, even if they don't expire worthless, most traders buy the option back, so they close it before they expire. And the broker knows that. That's why he's only requesting a fifth of the buying power that you need for buying the shares. And that's all good as long as you close your position before expiration. However, when trading the wheel, you actually want to get assigned. It is part of the strategy. You see, we would not only sell a put option. If we do get assigned, we will sell calls and get the premium. Part of the strategy. Again, if you would like to have more information on the strategy, I'll link to it in the description here. So the question now is, what happens if you don't have enough money and you're getting assigned? Well, let's say you have $5,000 in your account and you entered this trade, and now IBM is below 115 at expiration, and you have to buy 200 shares at $115. But you don't have the money. So what happens? Well, now your broker is buying them anyhow for you, and you get a so-called margin call. What does it mean? Well, a margin call basically means the broker asks you to wire the remaining $19,000 that you need for this into the account. And he wants to have this pretty much today. Now, what happens if you don't have the money? So if you don't do this, well, the broker will sell the shares, and he sells them the next day at whatever price he can get. So this means that you lose all control over this trade. Your broker is now in control, and that's not good. You see, when trading the wheel strategy, you want to remain in control, because after we get assigned the shares, let me just show you the strategy again. It's part of the strategy. After you get assigned shares, we want to sell calls against it and collect even more premium. And that's why I highly recommend that you trade cash secured puts so that you have enough money in the account in case you get assigned. Because this way, you have full control over your shares and you can actually make money with them. Anyhow, is this helpful? Because now you know the difference between cash secured puts and naked puts, and you know when to use what. Is this helpful at all? Now, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Click on like so that more people will see this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, click on subscribe and hit the little bell, because this way you get notified whenever I release a new video. And I will release 2 more videos regarding the wheel strategy. One of them is what happens when you get assigned, because this is a key question from many viewers here. Might be a question of you that you say, okay, what happens if I get assigned IBM shares? And number 2, I want to show you how exactly you place the trade, right? How you open the trade and how you close it. So I have 2 more exciting videos coming for you. Make sure that you subscribe. And also, if you like this, feel free to share this video on Facebook, Twitter, or by email. And I will see you in the next video.